Ral Energy. Today is the 29th of June 2018. Carried load. It is not the load that breaks you down, it's the way you carry it. By Lou Holtz. How was my day yesterday? Well, I had a very long arena talking session, and I was also in my programmer role, my keyboard hat. I upgraded the CoLegend roles backend, and the idea here was to not just have normal roles, but 3 different types of roles, and one of them is just a role that acts as a super role with having sub roles. So basically, a role that that I can split up to give to further break down, and then have different people take care of different parts of that role. And that is something that I did yesterday. And I also did other things, but I already want to jump to the next thing, which is what do I want to focus on for today? And I have 3 things that I want to focus on for today. 1, you guessed it, if you saw my last videos, I want to keep working on my vision. Number 2, I want to work on the CoLegend concept documentation. And number 3, I want to finish up the CoLegend clear roles. And I already today added the front end for the roles, and I pushed the changes to production, so this is already live. Why am I still having this as an outcome? Because I want to go through the roles and spend some time thinking about the strategy for the individual roles, especially for the main roles, for the main sub-roles, for the app roles of CoLegend. And for these, I want to define a preliminary, like a first version strategy that I somehow have, but I haven't explicitly shared with other people. And that's how I want to share them, my strategies. And that's that. I already had a great coaching session today, me being a coachee. And I honestly was surprised surprised myself by inviting him here to see that this is a very different kind of interaction that I have with him than what I expected. Many different things. I guess that's more my perspective. And one of these perspectives, before I share more about these things, I want to close it up, and then you can choose if you want to listen. But in case you are just here for the update, that's what I'm going to focus on for today. And I have an upcoming game evening that I was invited to join. And I'm looking forward to that. It's called Cards and Crap. And it's not crap, it's with accent circonflexe on the E. And it's the French version of pancakes. And I already told him that I prefer not consuming sugar or milk for that matter. And I'm curious what will turn out, but I either way will enjoy the evening very much. And that's it from that side. So I will, at this point, share with you the joke of the day, which is, what kind of music do chiropractors listen to? The answer is mostly hip-hop. All right, if you have any feedback, I'd love to hear it. And I wish you a legendary day if you're checking out here. And otherwise, I will now continue babbling about the things that are on my mind right now. So this coaching session, I was trying to take a look at my deeper topics. It was not a coaching session per se at all. It was more like a self-exploration, therapeutic mix of a session, although not with the therapeutic mindset, but more of the spiritual side of it. At least that's what I see. That's what I see. Class talking on that level that I'm talking with him, and I am at a state where I find it easy to trust him, which I find very, very nice, which I appreciate. especially since working together with people is something where I experienced in the past that topics like many like for instance money, because this was one of the things that popped up, where I have a very different mindset about these things, and where I in the past also experienced struggles with other people, where it's for them where the shared commitment and vision is not a big pull, but rather the money is, which is something that might make sense to combine, but where I'm having trouble because I'm really after people who are not just externally but intrinsically motivated, and I don't want to buy people with money in terms of making them machines who work for my cause, but and I'm limiting myself here, and that is a choice that I'm making, but rather I want to empower people and inspire people, and if people want that kind of atmosphere, then I also want to welcome them. And I want to find great ways of finding these people who are actually interested in these kind of win-win situations where money is just a part of the whole thing. It's just a tool, it's just a vehicle, it's not the end goal in and of itself. And that is obvious from one perspective, but not so much from others. And I'm looking forward to also having nice teams and working together on something great. And I'm very confident that what I have in mind and the vision and the structure that I'm building so that we can actually collaborate and have an easier time, because we know what the services are and what the powers are of individual people, who does what and stuff like that. So I want a lot of clarity in cooperation. I want a lot of communication happening, and I want to have the whole thing in a way where I can enjoy it and other people can enjoy it. And if we are not enjoying, and I'm not meaning enjoying in the sense of fun, but more like, very interesting. That's also something that I had as a topic in the coaching session, that when he shared that for him, it's important to actually enjoy the coaching session as a coach. And I was at some point also skeptical about that, thinking that on the one hand, I can very much understand that perspective. On the other, I also like the idea of not just judging the coaching session by how much fun I have, but rather also by, and that's not a contradiction. It's confusing because I'm mixing different levels in one talk without us having necessarily this connection. So I don't know if you are with me on that one. And it's not a right or wrong that I'm after, but it's more, can you get my perspective? And if you can't, then maybe I've made it very hard for you to jump with me on that level. So I will state here that I can very much see both perspectives right now. And that's something that I appreciate, because I like being able, having the flexibility to see multiple perspectives, especially if they tend to be conflicting on the surface, because I am really more a lover of paradox, which the more I explore them, the less they are what they are, which is counterintuitive, and that's exactly my point. All right, so I will leave it here and continue with my work now, and I wish you a great day. It's the birds chirping outside. I'm having a great time, and I hope to see you soon.